FC's the one, packed with favourites. Industry super funds, keep your super in good hands. And Navy, Army and Air Force are recruiting now.
What a weekend of rugby league, the busiest in finals football. 4 games all up, beginning with the shellacking Friday night. The Rabbits riding roughshod over these sorry Sea Eagles. Then the Roosters and Panthers put varying degrees of super into their Saturday.
The kick from Selwyn, the kick from Selwyn, it's a goal!
Before the Cowboys and Broncos went wild in Townsville, the way Queenslanders do. This mob could really go all the way. Suddenly, it's Sunday, and here we are in Melbourne, the Storm and the Bulldogs facing off in sudden death finals football. Bellamy versus Hasler, Cam Smith versus Ennis the Menace. 2 great clubs, and only one can survive this Sunday arvo. Welcome to AAMI Park, to the final edition of the fabulous first weekend of NRL Finals, right here on the one and only Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Welcome to a warm springtime Sunday afternoon in Melbourne. Perfect conditions for what promises to be a sudden death grind between the Storm and the Bulldogs. Both are known for producing ruthless brands of football. They are seasoned September specialists, but one will leave AAMI Park this afternoon as semi-finalists and the other a very sore loser in this NRL Elimination Final. It's time to welcome our legendary own September specialists, Darren Lockyer, Andrew Johns and Brett Finch. Good afternoon, gents. Melbourne and Canterbury, they've both got plenty of character to carry them through this finals, but what sort of form do they bring?
Get into Bet Timber, Sports Bet Timber.
A big game for the Bulldogs. Sudden death against Melbourne in Melbourne. Canterbury have won just 2 of their last 8 games just to scrape into 7th place in this NRL's finals series. Now, Wide World would like to extend our deepest sympathies to Crusher Khalil. His first day back at work after burying his father Harvey last week. They certainly were New South Wales Country Rugby League's first family, so all our thoughts and prayers there with the Khalil family. Now, boys, if we start talking about the Bulldogs and touching on their halves, they've sort of gone off the boil a little bit post-Origin. Would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. It's physically, it takes its toll, but emotionally, it really it's taken its toll on the Bulldogs' halves. Poor old Josh Reynolds, he's been all over the shop since Origin 3. He's had 2 suspensions, and he hasn't really found any rhythm. And it's a big job today. Trent Hodkinson. Reynolds provides so much enthusiasm. Hodkinson on screen there, he has to control the kicking game and the organisation of the team and get the game plan going, because it's so hard to break down this Melbourne Storm defence. And watch for the back rowers for the Melbourne Storm, the likes of Proctor and Hoffman, putting so much pressure on the halves on Reynolds and Hodkinson.
We have seen Josh Reynolds rattled the last few weeks. Do you think that'll be a tactic from the Storm? Yeah,
I think so. They'll be out there, they'll be pressuring him. Watch when he kicks, they'll be hitting him late. When he's ball playing, it's something the Melbourne Storm might do, get in the faces of their halves, and I'd say there'll be plenty of verbal. Lockie, what do you think?
Well, I thought last week he was the guy that gave him spark. So, he's had a bit of time on the sideline since Origin 2, so I think he's got, he's pretty fresh at the moment in terms of, I think out of the 2 halves, he's the one that's providing the most energy. But look, the Dogs haven't had the greatest form back end of the year, but the 2 times they've played Melbourne Storm this year, they've beat them. So they'll come here and they'll be pretty confident about their chances today.
Everyone talks about the size of the Dogs pack, and of course they'll just run it straight up the middle again. I don't think they deviate very far from there, Darren.
Oh, the bench is enormous, and their starting forward pack's enormous. So, look, I think if they come out and play aggressive and they play to their potential, look, they can beat anyone.
Can we get a mirror in the sheds so Tony Williams can see how big he is? And say, come on, T-Rex. You know, you're 6'5" and 125 kilo. Let's do some damage, T-Rex. Wind up.
Now, the other thing is this could be the last game for Michael Ennis if they do lose. Would that be playing on anyone's mind out there?
Not now, I don't think. May have been spoken about during the week, but not now. They'd be all got their focus. There's T-Rex there, fire up T-Rex. They'd be all focused on the job at hand.
Well, you can see they're pretty animated there. They're all, you know, in a huddle and they're talking pretty aggressive to one another each other. So hopefully they back the talk up with their actions.
All right. Well, Wally Lewis has the Canterbury coach, Des Hasler.
Well, Desi, I promise I'm not going to ask you about completion rates, what happened all last week, but, mate, what's the backbone of your plan today?
Oh, mate, you know what finals footy's like. It's the best part of the year, probably exciting time of the year, so I think you always get a good game of footy, and that's what we're looking for today.
Mate, since the Origin series finished, there's been a bit of scrutiny on their halves. Are they the boys that you're looking for to lead the way today?
Yeah, mate, like halves are an integral part of the side, but you know, as you said, we haven't been doing well off the ball, but we'll turn that around today.
You'd have fond memories of the 2-point win the last time that you played them here. Has the game plan changed too much?
Oh, no, mate. I think finals footy are an entirely different. I think it'll be a real tough, hard grind. Both sides are used to that, and I don't think it'll be any different today.
Well, good luck this afternoon, mate. Hope everything goes well.
Thanks, Wally. Cheers, mate.
We thank Des Hasler for his time. Now, everyone likes to talk about the big boys for the Bulldogs, but, Andrew, there's a lot to like about workhorse second rower Josh Jackson.
Yeah, that's right, and his combination on that right side with Josh Reynolds. That's where they need to fire today. And considering that right side, that's where they'll be targeting the gap between Ben Roberts and Mahe Fanua. And you see the energy and the speed and power here. Josh Reynolds gets across field, and Josh Jackson there with the acceleration. And then he brings the centre into play, Tim Laffer. Now, he's a danger man for the Bulldogs. They've got to get some early ball to him. You see there just a bit of variety. Going to the line, Reynolds hitting Josh Jackson. And it's a real X factor, that right side today. And Tim Laffer, speed, power. They need to get him into the games with some clean early ball. But watch for that combination, Reynolds and Josh Jackson going at the gap between Ben Roberts and Mahe Fanua.
Darren, this is obviously something that they need to rehearse over and over. Will it work against the Storm?
Well, look, knowing Craig Bellamy, he would have looked at the tapes many times last week and seen that Josh Jackson had a bit of effectiveness down that side. So Hoffman will be inside Roberts on that side, and Hoffman's played Origin, he's played for Australia. So, look, I think the Storm will combat it pretty early, but at the same time, if the Bulldogs are able to persist and hold on to the football, then the gaps might appear.
All right, boys, final thoughts. Who survives another week in this NRL final series?
For me, I think the Storm continue on.
Yeah, Melbourne Storm. I can't say the Dogs haven't got enough points in the Dogs, and I just think the Melbourne Storm here at AAMI Park, so hard to beat. I think the Storm, the morals.
Well, there we are, the Storm deep in thought there. Craig Bellamy giving his final sermon, perhaps of 2014. The next 80 minutes will decide who seals that last semi-final spot in this NRL's final series. Ray Warren, Phil Gould and Andrew Johns in the commentary box for kick-off between the Storm and the Bulldogs here on Wide World of Sports.
The real Oscar Pistorius.
They've got one of the best records against the Storm. 34 games they've played, and Canterbury have won 18 times. So this is as good a side as Canterbury can field. Melbourne, well, how do you beat them at AAMI Park? Well, that has become a little bit of a myth in more recent times. They've been beaten, I think, 4 or 5 times this year, including a loss to Canterbury. They lost to Canterbury twice this year. They lost in Perth when they got a real spanking, and then they got beaten here at AAMI Park. As Michael Ennis takes his team out, will this be his last game in Bulldogs colours? That really enforces and rams home the thought of sudden death football, doesn't it? This man, who probably because of salary cap reasons and age, moves to Cronulla. He takes his team out very proudly. Will it be the last time? Sun shining in Melbourne, a beautiful day in Melbourne as it was in Sydney. 6 years here after stints at Newcastle, Dragons and Brisbane. Aiming for 3 wins in a season against the Storm for only the second time, the last time being in 2003, Canterbury. Josh Reynolds needs to be in his best form. He's back from suspension just 1 week ago. Melbourne GTV, you're taking us live. Hello to our Victorian audience. Trent Hodkinson and Reynolds need to be good. And there's the most pleasant sight that Melbourne television viewers and those at the ground can see. He was in doubt, the number 9. But he trained yesterday, and I'm told he trained strongly. It was a thought he wouldn't play. There's Ryan Hoffman, of course. But this man, Cameron, he pulled out in the warm-up in Perth, and Canterbury gave them a real spanking, as I said. But Smith is playing. And Hoffman, of course, the same, as I said, for Michael Ennis. Will this be his last game in the purple colours of Melbourne? He's been one of the real journeymen. Born in Canberra, went to St Gregory's College, played SG ball for Wests, and then of course to Melbourne, then to Wigan for a year, back to Melbourne. I hope he likes flying, and Ryan will join the Warriors next year. A shot from above of this stadium, as I said, it makes pretty pictures. The ground looks perfect. They're just clearing away some of the bunting.
Thank you.
And you are in, I am sure, on this Sunday afternoon for our last first weekend telecast. I think you're in for a cracker of a go. Canterbury, one of the great combatants. Proctor. They talk about the big 3. What about Hoffman? What about Proctor? What about Bromwich? We're just about set. We're ready.
Behind.
It's underway. The sudden deather between Canterbury and Melbourne, and a former Bulldog marks the ball. Ben Robertson gives it off to Jesse Bromwich. The elder of the Bromwich brothers plays the ball. So away they come, away to McLean. Jordan. Awful memories in his mind, undoubtedly. Hoffman now taken down by Graham and Jackson. And here's Brian Norrie. Age shall not weary them. 38 metres away from the Melbourne lines. The boot of Cronk, and the little professor drives it down the ground. I was about to say he even meant that ball to bounce back over the head of Sam Perrott, but he's not that good, surely. Perrott on his own 30-metre line. Ennis then away from Mitch Brown, who will depart Canterbury at the end of this season. And they're walking him. They got him on the walking machine. Brown going back to where he came from at Cronulla. Eastwood now. Canterbury will try and match them blow for blow, run for run, and tackle for tackle. They'll try and hang in like Penrith last night. Tolman got a ball away. Reynolds joined in. Reynolds comes to Slater. Slater, he doesn't miss him. Just inside the 30-metre line. And then Jackson from dummy half away to Ennis. He puts a grubber through, bounces down nicely for Slater. He goes for the surrender. Played quickly by Slater, really. He could have stayed there longer because the ref had signalled surrender, and that works in favour of the defensive team. But back in that situation, it's the best place to go, the grass. Get there as quick as you can. Played by Bromwich. Away goes the 5, and that is Wonga. In fact, yes, it is Wonga. I thought it might have been Korobidi. Comes across the ground, and speaking of him, it's come back to Chambers, the number 3. Cronk again clearing, an appropriate time to go to the sideline. Brett Finch doing the honours today.
Yeah, fantastic conditions here this afternoon down in Melbourne, Rabs. Really fast track, dry conditions, and there's a real excitement in the crowd here today, so it should be an absolute beauty.
Reynolds, Academy Award for that one, Josh. Then they lifted him into a dangerous position and got him out of it. That's good thinking as well. Reynolds thinking about Thinking about getting an academy. Now it comes from Graham away to Tolman. They combined to put Reynolds through a few minutes ago. Ennis darting into dummy half. Hodkinson goes ahead, puts a kick in, rolls it down favourably for Slater to take it to ground in the field of play. Now this is one.
There's some very positive play from the Bulldogs. Not prepared to just hit it up one off the ruck. They're going a couple of passes wide.
One is hurt.
I'll check.
Sisawanga has got a problem.
It was a solid shot, wasn't it? Greg Eastwood coming in on the angle, lined him up, gave it to him. They'll take the wind out of you.
I think he had some arm hanging out there, which legalises the tackle.
He has to. If not, you can take him out the back.
What were you thinking? Shoulder charge?
No, I was simply making the point that you have to show some use of the arms to negate the thought of a shoulder charge. That is my aim in life, is to try and make this simple game simple again. Didn't take you long to start. Trip to Townsville hasn't helped you. Here's Bromwich with the ball now. That was the trick.
Beautiful. I'll give the Charter people a real rap later.
Cronk with a big kick. Leave it till later. Here's Perrott. That's the kick that Joey was talking about. Perrott opting to let it bounce, then deal with it later. Williams dummy half. Brown goes ahead to the halfway line. Mitch Brown. So Williams joins in down the blind side, and Proctor, for a moment, he looked like the trailer on a semi-trailer, trying to stop Williams. Graham, one of three that have played all games this year. Ennis and Jackson the others. Here's Hodkinson. 18 metres out from the line. Play back to Morris. Last tackle. Kick by Ennis. High kick. It's a beauty. And it's batted back. Eastwood has scored. That's a try for sure. That will be given. Greg Eastwood has gone in to score, and pointing to the spot is Matt Checken.
Well, their opening 3 sets of 6 have been brilliant from the Bulldogs. Plenty of ball movement, aggressive, over the advantage line, prepared to pass the ball. They've completed their only 3 sets. And now at the end of it, a really effective 5th tackle option. Up goes the ball, knocked back into the path of Eastwood. And on the Harvey Norman replay, he'll open the scoring in this sudden death semi-final.
The countdown has begun. The Holden...
Well, he's got that lovable frame about him, hasn't he, Greg Eastwood? He reminds me of George Rose a little bit, but he's surprisingly fast. And he was down there in a flash, looking for that bat down. It's become a popular play, hasn't it? You might contest it in the air, but are you trying to catch it? No way. I'm trying to bat it down backwards. Greg Eastwood scores for Trent Hodkinson. He took them into that area. He took them down inside the red line, and he converts the try. So the State of Origin halfback converts the try of Greg Eastwood. 6 minutes gone. It's 6-0 Canterbury. Andrew John.
When this ball goes in the air, you see the wingman here, Marika Korobetti. He's charging in to catch it. In the last minute, his centre actually runs his own man off the ball. That enabled Laffey to get up and bat the ball backwards. But in Maho Whenua, I think he ran a block for his own wingman there.
Des is happy at the moment. That's Des when he's
Time
happy.
you run, fellas!
So we're back underway again, and Smith is taking the kick off. So, he's found the line 8 metres away. Now Melbourne, here they come.
Can you believe that? The opening 3 sets of 6 perfect. Post the first try of the game, the opposition kicks off, and they bowl you a wrong one.
Well, what an opportunity that provides for Melbourne. There's almost getting ready to take a quick look at the Bulldogs and how they've structured their attack in the early stages of this. They're only standing a metre, maybe two maximum, behind the dummy half, so it's short-range attack. Now the Storm get a chance.
So Cronk away, Slater on, decoys through, and Wonga coming from the right side, and a penalty. Penalty against the tacklers. Melbourne, they'll put the pressure right on Canterbury now. The Sydney side leading by 6. No, takes it away towards the uprights. Jams it in on an angle. Graham makes the tackle. Smith goes back. McLean with a big run. But Canterbury compressing in defence under the upright. Played by Jordan. Back he goes, out to Billy Slater. On it goes to Ben Roberts. He's out of the tackle, but now he's going to be made to play the ball. 3 metres out. Slater dummy half. Out from Cronk. It's gone to Fanua. So the 4. Young Fanua. Here's Korobidi. Short on the far side. They come back and across to the boot of Cronk. Canterbury player on the ground. Up they go down. They come to the 20. You've got the ball.
Go to the 10, mate. Go to the 10.
In the field of play. No, he's taken in the in goal. He takes him out to the 20 for the 7-tackle restart. Hodkinson.
It's pretty obvious here the Bulldogs' intention is to get right up in the face of the Storm playmakers when they're in those attacking positions. They just raced up there. Every played the ball. Sprinted up. Put the pressure on the Storm.
Tolman. No stranger to AAMI Park. As it goes along the Canterbury line, Jackson out wide. Will play the ball 32 metres out. Picked up quickly on the run then by Reynolds. Reynolds gets it away. It's gone through Laffer, gone to Thompson. Thompson will play the ball. 17 out from the line. Canterbury then sweeping it back to the left side of the ground. Graham away. Ennis on. Ball loose. Almost a chance of an intercept. Picked up by Sam Perrott. Perrott pulled down 12 out. 5 tackles gone. Ennis through Hodkinson. Eastwood. There he is kicking. He's looking for a regather. The bounce is there for Korobidi. Brilliant play. Absolutely brilliant play. Darren Lockyer.
Well, the Bulldogs have been outstanding in this opening 10 minutes. Good defence down there on their own try line, but they're just running with so much intent, so much enthusiasm. They look very dangerous.
There it is, that attack from short range. They're at a maximum of 2 metres behind the dummy half. They're sprinting on the ball. And when Eastwood gets a chance to be able to put it in, certainly there weren't too many Storm players expecting he was the man that was going to come up with a dangerous kick. Restart. This is a golden opportunity for the Dogs to stretch their lead.
I tell you what, he's got some skills, Greg Eastwood. It's all very well to say he's got a lovable frame. A bit like George Rose, as I said, but geez, he's got some skills. He did have some skills, he's just knocked it on.
Well done, Rabbits.
God's sake. How many hexes can I put on these players?
One of your best.
Storm feed.
He was having a good day. Why can't you leave him alone?
Yeah, that's right. You'll continue it on.
Yeah, we'll do, mate.
Bashing myself up. There's no need for you to hit me with an uppercut as well.
Wait for the out call.
What about poor Greg? So it's with me. Oh, no. I said nothing about him.
Well, there was a poor pass from the back of the scrum from the captain, Cameron Smith, and Michael Ennis. After the poor pass, he went up into Cameron Smith's face and had plenty to say. If you watch here, the poor pass here from Cameron Smith goes out in front, and then Michael Ennis is right up in Cameron Smith's face. And he actually bit Cameron Smith. He chased Ennis.
Wait for it. Right.
Rarely see that.
Come back. Come back. Come back.
So Canterbury getting the chance back that they messed up just a few seconds ago. And they play it on the 10, and here's Eastwood again. Try on the board already for the big fella, looking for a double. And now Ennis turns it back and around Graham away. Hodkinson! He goes over to score! My goodness, that was a lovely piece of work, a dummy half by Michael Ennis. Drifted left, turned it around to Big Graham, and the hole open.
Yeah, well, they set this up in the previous sets of 6. Ennis looks like he's coming out for one of their favourite plays to the left, turns it back to Graham. Lovely little decoy run. Hodkinson very easily past Fanua. Harvey Norman replay. It's all the Bulldogs.
Mac now, pay later at Harvey Norman with 24 months interest free. That's right, get the latest Apple computers with zero interest, no deposit and no payments until September 2016. Mac now and pay later on the latest range of Apple iMacs. Mac now and pay later on the latest Apple MacBook Pro and MacBook Pro with Retina display. Mac now and pay later on the latest Apple MacBook Air. Hurry, update now with zero interest, no deposit and no payments until September 2016. Mac now, pay later. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
Welcome back to AAMI Park in Melbourne. Nine's exclusive coverage of this final match on the opening weekend of the Telstra Premiership Finals for 2014. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful spring afternoon. And Canterbury are absolutely blooming, with Hodkinson and Eastwood scoring tries. At the 5th and 13th minutes, and Hodkinson will try to convert his own try. And away it goes, Mr. Accuracy. That decoy run in that movement, Graham played a major part, Ennis played a part, but that decoy run was so important. Andrew?
I spoke about Michael Ennis getting under the skin here of Cameron Smith. Watch the bad pass, and Michael Ennis has plenty of rubs the Australian captain on the head, does it again, and then Cameron Smith reacts. And then from the next play, the try was scored because Cameron Smith was at marker and absolutely chased after Michael Ennis, which created the hole on the other side. So he's doing his job, Michael Ennis.
The inside eye, taking us into the middle of all that little fracas, as Gus would call it, the brouhaha. But Michael, just with that little bit of niggle, just an indication that Melbourne, well, at least they're taking notice. Finchy on the sideline. Yes, Brett?
Yeah, I've got no problem with Michael Ennis ripping into him. Fair enough sledging, but, you know, touching him on the head, rubbing him on the head. Joey, I don't know what you think, but I think you should show a bit more respect to the Australian captain. I've never seen that done to you or Darren Lockyer before.
Eastwood. Last tackle coming up for Hodkinson, and he puts a grubber kick in, bouncing down to Slater. And Slater well marked down there by Jackson. Jackson and Graham and Reynolds got involved. Talking of Reynolds, he and Hodkinson, most of the pundits were saying they had to be at their best. They weren't wrong. And if the forwards lay a good combination, or a good foundation, I should say, then Reynolds and Hodkinson look to me as though they're in good form in the early part. Mind you, the dice is rolling for them at the moment. And here's Big Bromwich going down the middle and getting the ball away for Slater, who did the same, gave it back to Bromwich. The Bromwich and Slater show. Roberts throws an intercept, and away goes Canterbury's Laffey. They won't catch Laffey. He's a talent. And the Bulldogs scores their 3rd try.
Well, the Bulldogs are relentless with the ball and also in defence. They're getting right up in the faces of the Melbourne Storm players, and you don't take this intercept unless you're up there harassing away. The line stays up. They get a couple of offloads and then a lazy pass there from Roberts straight into the hands of Laffey. Shut the gate. He's off and gone. On the Harvey Norman replay, this is going to be 18-0. 18-0, the Bulldogs.
There's two things that define a man: his left hand and his right. Take a look at yours. Every scar is a memory, each callus a job done. Because when it's handmade, it's made well. Hand cut, hand polished, and then handed down. Be hands-on. Get 'em dirty. Yep, you can tell a lot about a man by his hands.
So there's your try scorer, and he's a real talent, as you've seen over the time he's been with Canterbury. He debuted in 2011, Tim Laffey, but he's grown in stature. He's certainly attracting the interest of the defenders. They can't give him a split inch to work in. Samoan by birth. Played his juniors at Campbelltown Warriors, and here's Hodkinson converting the try scored by Tim Laffey. So this is a shock scoreline. I know a lot of people thought Canterbury would win, but 18-0 they lead. Andrew,
have a look at that. Look at that. That's a great shot. That's an athlete who is also a great footballer and's got great football speed. So possesses a great right foot step, tremendous footwork. And Wally Lewis, if you were playing with Tim Laffey, how would you bring him into the game?
Joey, I'd give him the ball as early as possible. I can remember being thrilled by his performance. I think it was against the West Tigers at ANZ Stadium a couple of weeks ago, where it was an unbelievable. Every time he got the ball, he charged on it. He made life an absolute nightmare for his opposition. But give him the ball early and let him make the most of that time and space.
Hinchcliffe is out there for McLean, with Williams trying to muscle his way through. And tackled by Proctor. Now Josh Morris. It's amazing, he's an Australian centre, Josh Morris. Most of the plaudits are going to the other side of the ground these days. I'm not saying that it'll stay that way, but Tim Laffey seemingly is in the focus a bit more than Josh just now. Now Wong out. And they go down quickly on the back of the kick. How are you seeing it, Lockie?
Well, 18-0, a big surprise, but the Bulldogs last week against the Titans also led 18-0 and they got run down. So I'm sure Desi Hasler and the players out on the field at the moment think we need to go on with it from here.
Yeah, you're right. This could be the number, the nervous 18. 18-0, the Reggie Titans have got run down.
By the same token, though, I mean, you underestimate Des Hasler at the core, don't you? There's a mistake here by the Storm. Again, the Bulldogs right up in their face. But he's got a knack, Des, of getting people up for the big occasion. And just when you think they're down and out, he can produce something a little different. We saw a game earlier this year where they had no halves. Halves were off on origin duty and fellas were injured. He said, we'll play without halves. He had Tony Williams playing in 7 and Jackson playing at 6. He said, we won't have halves. We'll beat them to death. And they did.
Well, there he is. He's taken teams to the finals every year since 2005, I think it is.
Stay down, boys. Wait till it's out. Wait for the out call.
That was his second year as coach of Manly, Des Hasler, and as I said, that's his happy look. Happy. Joe Happy.
Hold. Go.
18-0. He might also be thinking like Lockie was about the Titans last week. 18-0. Let's get past this number. It's like 87 in cricket. Here it is, away to Reynolds now. 27 metres out from the Melbourne line. Sudden death qualifying final. Jackson, Canterbury 18, Melbourne no score. Halfway through the first half. Hodkinson, Williams, Morris. Beautiful ground this, and those on the eastern side basking in Melbourne sunshine at the moment. Kick down the ground. Oh, Fanua. Reynolds went sailing in.
Okay. Let's go.
I don't know why he's involved in that tackle. I mean, that's dead set a penalty, that. He didn't have to get involved as a second or a third man in that tackle.
Perhaps some people may see it as a bit of a problem, the Bulldogs not being able to go on with it after last week's 18-0 lead. I see it as a bad thing for Melbourne Storm. They'll be very determined. That's all that they would have been reminding each other of.
Wally Lewis in the commentary box with Phil Gould and Andrew Johns, Darren Lockyer and Brett Finch doing sideline. Cronker's kick, Slater's after it. This might be a penalty here. Graham has run Slater off the ball. He wasn't looking at the ball, Graham. He's looked at Billy Slater and give him a shoulder.
Thank you, mate.
Penalty goes to where the ball landed, to Melbourne. There's Graham, eyes only for Billy Slater. And you can move into that line if you want to, but not like that.
Yeah, he really didn't need to. The kick had gone away downfield. Billy Slater wasn't going to get there to compete. Here come the Storm. What do they got?
Smith across, Cronk in, back they go. Slater, a little in and away, but sliding defence by Josh Morris. From Wonga, a dummy half. Long and high Cronk, long to Smith, behind decoy. Harris is out there. Roberts jinking, stepping. 9 metres out from the line. Might have been just as easy to keep it going. Keep the pot boiling. They go there again. Cronk puts a little kick over. Well marked by Thompson. That wasn't easy. Corey Thompson, he just keeps coming up with something.
See, the other side of the equation here, the Bulldogs have been great. The Storm obviously not at their best. And that can sometimes happen. All week there's been conjecture as to whether Cameron Smith would play. Just checking where he caught this ball and whether or not it should be a 20-metre tap. I think he's come from the field of play. He has. That's no problem. But you wait all week to see if Cameron Smith is going to play, and all the players are thinking, well, will he play or won't he play? And then on the day of the game, they say, yeah, he's playing. Oh, good, Cameron's here. We'll be right. And it just looks like the others haven't got their heads on at the moment. Cameron Smith can't win it on his own, although at times we make you believe he's the only one that does it.
Come back, fellas. Quicker.
Bromwich. And that's Harris on the 20-metre line, centre of the ground. And it comes away to Cronk, and he goes short into Proctor. And they pick Proctor up and dump him under Tony Williams. Now to Cronk again. Now for Bromwich, and Bromwich is taken by the two polar bears out there. Smith. Aiden Tolman's offside. You can hear them calling. And here is Wonga. One-on-one with Morris.
Gee whiz, Mitch Brown should have taken an intercept there and gone the distance.
So he's found a knock on.
If we just replay this last ball movement to the right, Mitch Brown goes up, not watching the ball. It's a bad pass. If Mitch Brown is watching, he grabs that and takes off. He wasn't even thinking about it. He was looking more at his opposite number. That was an opportunity to pick him off and go the distance.
Let's go, boys. Watch it push. Watch it push. Right there. Tighter. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay in. Out.
So Lucan is out there now for Canterbury.
Hold. Go.
Coleman takes the first relieving play. Jackson takes the second. 25 out from the Canterbury line. 18-0 in favour of the Bulldogs. For Lucan again. Busy to get involved and get some work under his belt. Had a birthday just a week ago. A youngster from Bega. That's Graham poking his head through. He had a birthday too the other day. James Graham, he got one coming. Grubber kick down for Billy Slater on his 10. Wonga looking at his other winger, Korobidi. And the Canterbury see their tails are in the air.
I was at the Gold Coast last week when they gave up 18 start and were beaten. It's a very different Bulldogs today. They're on their toes.
Here's Hoffman.
Coming forward in attack and defence. Melbourne are going to have to work really hard to get back in this.
And here's the outside-inside ball from Cronk to Slater. Smith then with the next run. Roberts has got the ball on the 40-metre line.
This
is the last tackle then for Melbourne. So they're going to give the ball back to Canterbury. Not too badly, really, after Perrott has marked this ball and taken it away. And he'll come out towards the 30-metre line. He goes long, and he's given Josh Morris a little bit of space down the left side, but Morris opting to take it away from the sideline. Brown it is that goes infield, and he's pulled down by Proctor. Hodkinson a dummy half. takes it ahead.
Keep coming.
So Ennis back to dummy half, and then Graham goes away. Reynolds shows the ball and goes himself and turns it back to Melbourne. And Fanua has come up with the ball.
Okay, square it, marker, boys. That'll be good.
Well, that was a real chance. Show and go from Reynolds. He'd like that moment over again, letting the pass go back on the inside that was intercepted. But again, some chinks in that Melbourne defence on the edge.
There's some movement on the benches from Melbourne, with Junior Moores about to come into the game. And here's propped up down to the 30-metre line. Wonga goes into acting half. Cronk, now Moores. And Moores just outside the 20-metre line, playing the ball for his captain. Now cross to Cronk, and on it goes to Chambers. He dribbles the ball in. Wonga's after it. Cleaned up in goal by Canterbury. Can they get it back? No. Line drop out. Well defended, Melbourne.
Goal line drop out. Take it away.
Chambers and Cronk getting the job done.
Yeah, good bit of patience on display there. The ball coming out wide. Probably might have seen that there was an opportunity to continue the attack with one more pass, but the safe option being decided on that occasion. Well done by Chambers. It'll get them 6 more tackles. They're just starting to put some attack together at the moment, Storm. It hasn't been there for the first 29 minutes of the match.
So repeats for Melbourne. This is a monster dropout. Now that would have gone probably 58 on the fly as Harris brings it back. Moores went on, Bromwich came off. And so Moores takes it inside the 30-metre line.
Tony, let's go, mate. Come on.
Cameron Smith looking around at his opportunities here, and he goes to Roberts' left side. They go back and they go around, and Slater came in, but it all went upside down. Well, it all went horribly wrong, and look at the face on Bellamy.
Yeah, normally they're so clinical. Andrew Johns, can you see any difference in the way they're set up structurally here? I mean, it all looks like the same plays they usually do perfectly, but nothing's going to hand at the moment.
Well, that's a play you see all the time from Billy Slater, the way he gets the ball off Hoffman. Hoffman gets into the line and turns that ball back to Billy Slater, which creates that overlap. But Billy's hands were all over the place, and the ball was just floating through the air. Normally, he rockets that ball to the wingman.
The Big Brother Storm hits overdrive. Who will be the new power couple? Big Brother tonight at 9 o'clock after 60 minutes, when Alison Langdon goes swimming with the Great White Sharks. A couple of programs we shouldn't be missing. Alison swimming with Great Whites, followed by Big Brother and the Storm. We're watching the Storm at the moment. Not very happy. 18-0 down. Here's Canterbury again. Hodkinson and Jackson, that combination. So Ennis just had to hesitate as he got a ball away to Reynolds. He kicks, runs hard down the middle of the ground, puts everybody on side, and they're going to trap Wonga down there close to the line. That they do. The tackler was Hodkinson. Now Korobiti. And Marika is tackled, not held, broke the tackle. And Reynolds eventually jumps on board. Played by Korobiti. This is Fanua out to the 30-metre line. Telecast going through GTV and Victoria today. Again, a warm welcome to you. It's coming to you live. Melbourne involved in a sudden death final here. McLean is back on, or McLean, I should say. Well, I'm not quite sure which it is, to be honest with you. Now, it's Cronk who kicks. Down it goes to... Pretty ordinary kick from Cooper.
Well, certainly by his standards, yeah.
Talking of Jordan McLean, or McLean, he comes from Young, which I've got fond memories of. One of my mates up there will ring and let me know, surely, which way's the right way to go. Penalty goes to Canterbury in the meantime.
Not now, Cameron.
He didn't take that too well, Cam Smith, appealing to the referee. How could you call that a penalty? And he was being welcomed by his opposite as well. I think it'll be the last conversation those two have.
See that, Gus? There's the text. McLean. What's that? Didn't take that. Williams. The people from Young. McLean. We weren't listening. It doesn't matter. Forget about it. Here's Finucane.
I was listening. I can't work your phone.
Here's Michael Ennis now. Away it goes to Graham. Gone on to Reynolds and gone on to Jackson. And Jackson, as his legs snapped from under him. Roberts was the main. Fanua got over the top. Here's Lafayette looking at them, saying, come on, who wants me? 12 out from the line. Try scorer. Tim Lafayette, 1 of 3. And here's Graham sweeping it back. Hopkinson, inside ball for the 17 to crash to the ground. Frank Pritchard. And Ennis double pumped it. Then Reynolds puts it on the foot, and it's made dead by Slater.
Goal line.
Well, that was a time where Slater needed a bit of conversation from his teammates, advising him whether he had time to let the ball carry over the line or not. It wasn't there. Melbourne once again under pressure. This is enormous. I'll go as far as to say, Gus, if the Bulldogs, if they haven't already got great control of the game, if they score here, I don't see the Storm being able to come back.
Oh, gee, that was daring, and it went the 10. It went the 10. In fact, the player that took the ball was Cronk. He was straddling the 10.
Move now, Michael! Hold! Go, 2.
Well, that could be a big play.
Get off now!
We better remember that moment. The short line dropout. It may amount to nothing, but
Ball now! Square markers!
you never know.
Played by Hinchcliffe and picked up by Smith, and goes lofting it across the top to Harris, who, he hands it down, and Canterbury have got the ball. Chambers knocking on, and apparently knocking on into an opposition player.
Here we are, boys. Bulldogs.
Chambers, the man that knocked it on. Here's the short dropout, and Cronk just onside, and then straddles this line. In fact, does better than that, so it's gone the 10. And as Phil said, it may prove to be a turning point. We won't know until later in the game. Darren Lockyer on the sideline today.
They're just thinking if you're in the Bulldogs camp, maybe 5th and last year, if you're in position, look at a field goal, stretch it out to more than 3 converted tries.
That's how you're thinking?
It is, yeah. But I think the Bulldogs should be thinking that also if they're not in position, if they're in position on 5th.
Okay, I'll watch for that.
Cameron now! Cameron! 2. Quick in, Cameron!
I'm going to go with Lockyer. Here's Hopkinson across to big Frank Pritchard. Second game back after that long portion of the season that he didn't see. Now Ennis sweeps it back. Finucane hands it on. Clemmer is on in 16. Oh, good ball. Now they're on their way. Lafaye's gone over for his second of the day, and Canterbury's 4th try. What in the hell is happening here? The Dogs. Who let the Dogs out?
Well, this is just an old-fashioned carver. The Bulldogs. Coming into this game, very few gave them a hope. They're killing them. Clemmer over the top. Out to Lafayette. He doesn't need much of an invitation, this kid. Harvey Norman replay. It's going to be 24-0.
I really believe colour lifts your moods, and I enjoy putting colour into people's lives, that's my job.
4 litre Taubman's interior paint, only $66.90. Heavy duty pruner, $6.98. High pressure cleaner, $139. Gorilla folding work platform, $59. EcoDeck composite decking, just $32.30 each.
Get a bit of colour going, ready for summer. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
I told you earlier today, and I'm sitting amongst rugby league royalty. So forgive me when I said to you earlier, this bloke has got miles of talent. What's on those What's on those wrist bandages? One of them said family. Always intrigued by what they've got written on them.
Well, he was rocking a baby after his first try. Something may have happened there.
Somebody, that's exactly right. There might have been something happened there. We didn't know that. Here's Hodkinson, and he raises the flags. Does he ever miss? And Gus, 24 blot.
Well, they just look like their old selves, don't they, the Bulldogs?
Family. I got family, Gus. Sorry.
Yeah, you've done well, Rebs.
What's on the other one? You keep talking. I'll keep.
Oh, now you've got
Jax.
Yeah.
Jax. J-A-X.
Yeah, they look like them old selves, the Bulldogs.
Stay
Plenty of
behind,
ball movement,
fellas.
the forwards passing. And they're really just dissecting this Melbourne Storm defence.
James Graham back to the 20-metre line.
Hold, fellas, hold. Go.
24-0. Pritchard. He's entitled to have fresh legs, isn't he, Frank? He's got a big job to do through this final series to make up for lost time. Clemmer, what a ball from Clemmer.
Well, I think I made the call after about 2 sets of 6 how obvious it was that the Bulldogs are playing that short range attack 2 metres back and they're sprinting onto the ball. That's where they're making all the territory.
Ennis harnessed there by Moores. Hodkinson gets it on. Pritchard is there. Then Morris. He just catches and passes.
10 over 10 metres in, mate.
It's forward.
Don't talk away. Don't talk away here.
Good focus, Gavin. Good focus. Come, fellas, and hold. Whenever you're ready, mate. Whenever you're ready. Go.
So 55 seconds of the game, or 50 seconds left in the first half. Play getting down towards the halfway line. Played by McLean. Now it's with Moores. Moores taken just outside that red line. We're down Canterbury's end of the ground. Smith comes over. Slater comes in. But it's almost like Canterbury have done twice the homework they would normally do. Moores losing the ball. And the referee says play on. So loose carry is all I can deduce. Graham not that keen to get up all that fast. He knows there's only a matter of seconds remaining in this first half. And there is the siren. And if you were scoring it on out of 10, well, it's been a 10-0 victory, but it's better than that. It's a 24-0 scoreline to Canterbury. Brett Finch on the ground.
Trent, certainly a different Bulldog side that's turned up today, mate. Fantastic start.
Yeah, it is, mate. We knew we had to get off to a fast start. Good thing is we're holding the footy. We haven't done that in a while, so definitely helps.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Coming up next in Holden half-time, Yvonne Sampson is joined by Darren Lockyer, Andrew Johns for the VB hard-earned highlights. This is live finals football on Nine's Wide World of Sports and live in Victoria today.
It's the place where the family comes together.
And the impression it makes the minute you walk in the front door, absolute winner.
5 luxurious living rooms. And 5 divine dining rooms will be revealed.
Okay, wow.
Tomorrow's TVs revealed.
Oh.
Incredible lights revealed.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And the most beautiful handmade dining table that will blow you away.
This is stunning.
The future of open plan living will surprise you.
I'm just trying to find something that I don't like and I can't do it.
The Block Living Dining reveals tonight 6:30 on 9.
Is that what I think it is? Yep, it's our NRL final special in week 2 for all head-to-head bets. If your team are ahead at half-time but lose, money back up to $100. Get into Bet-Temba, Sports Bet-Temba.
The countdown has begun. The Holden 100-hour sale on new, used and demo vehicles is on now with incredible deals. Hurry, get a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assist, plus 3 years free servicing and a huge factory bonus on every new and demo vehicle. Right now, we're counting down the hours, the minutes and the seconds. Hurry into your Holden dealer for the Holden 100-hour sale. On now, ends Monday.
At BWS, save 30% off all wine when you buy any 6 or more bottles. That's 30% off your favourite reds, whites and bubbly for a limited time only. At BWS, today's special.
Illegal vessel identified.
Sir, still no response.
Bring the ship to boarding stations. Launch Tiger to start. Helo launched. 1,000 yards, sir.
Stand by to receive my boarding party via aircraft marked via fast roll onto a motor vessel caught forecastle.
Boarding party repelling. Boarding party on the deck. Deck secured. Crew secured. Crew detained. Inspection commenced.
Your loan's been approved.
Congratulations. Thank you.
You can relax. It's all done.
You're all set. Okay, now that that's sorted, how about your super?
You're not getting your hands on my super.
No?
No, I'm with an industry super fund.
One of those?
Yes, one of those.
No sales incentives, run only to benefit members.
You can afford to build your deck, you can also afford to buy your nice barbecue, your nice outdoor setting, and still have enough left over to plant the garden around the outside.
EcoDeck composite decking, only $32.30 each. Aluminium fence panel, $59. Stainless steel sink, $99. Ceramic wall tiles, just $13.50. If you happen to find a lower price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Get it all here for the lowest prices. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
The Yeti says the label changes colour when the beer is ice cold.
Yeah. Colder, bolder, fresher, Carlton Cold.
This Tuesday, get 9 pieces of KFC's original recipe chicken for only $9.95. Awesome. 9 for $9.95. Only on Tuesdays.
Is that what I think it is? Yep, it's our NRL Final Special in Week 2 for all head-to-head bets. If your team are ahead at half-time but lose, money back up to $100. Get into Bet-Temba, Sports Bet-Temba.
Half-time, brought to you by the Holden 100-hour sale. Hurry, get incredible deals on new, used and demo vehicles. Think Holden.
Welcome back to AAMI Park. Bulldogs fans smiling from ear to ear. Storm fans a little bit in shock. Incredibly, Canterbury lead 24-0 over Melbourne. Welcome to Holden half-time. Darren Lockyer, those stats show that the Storm have saved some of their worst for the most important game of the season.
Well, the Bulldogs have forced them to be unlike Melbourne, and that's the completion rate, but also the Bulldogs' defence on their own try line. They've frustrated the Storm by getting up in their faces, and they've actually had a lot more opportunity than the Dogs down in that 20.
Canterbury out there very early, or should I say very quickly for the second half. Probably without saying so. Just saying, well, we're out here, where are you? Come on, 24-0, let's get on with it. It's interesting, Canterbury have only scored 2 tries in their last 5 second halves and a total of 12 points in their last 5 second halves. They've led 11 times at the break to win 8 matches, but I guess the most outstanding one of those was they led 18-0 on halftime last week and got beaten 19-18. So Melbourne then with their season very much teetering on the edge of the cliff. Down 24-0 as we go into the second half on Nine's coverage of the qualifying final here. Only one goes on. At the moment it looks like Canterbury. Finucane just inside the 30-metre line. Pritchard carrying a bit of beef, but he's got plenty of, as I said, freshness in the legs. Clemmer, close to halfway, through a magic pass that put Tim Lappine away for his second. Now for Graham. Big Jimmy takes it down towards the 40-metre line. Reynolds puts a kick over, and Slater comes out of the back. Slater is met by this consistently enthusiastic defence from Canterbury. Before some of these destroyers can get moving, Canterbury's chase on the kick has been marked urgent all day. This is Fanua. So across to Cronk and on to Harris. Melbourne bringing it out to the 40-metre line now. Loose pass by Melbourne. These sort of things you don't see from Melbourne. Not as often as we're seeing them, particularly at this point in the year. Now Cronk has been taken. The referee is saying it's okay. In fact, not only is it okay, he's standing right over the top of them, the pocket referee.
Well, that was their opening set of 6 of the second half, the Melbourne Storm. You'd expect something. They made 20 metres in 6 plays. You'd have expected more gusto over the advantage line there, trying to establish themselves, but they just went back into passing again.
Pritchard again. Uses a battering ram. It's a fairly awesome sight when it's coming at you head on, I would imagine. Now for Graham. Out to Reynolds. On to Jackson. Jackson! And stopped by Slater. 12 metres out from the line. 5 tackles gone, Canterbury. The kick is on. Reynolds has kicked, but I don't know about Morris being onside. And there's a penalty gone to Melbourne.
No, mate, I'm not.
Morris was in front of the kicker.
Hang on, mate. Make sure
well,
he's
that's
onside,
a lazy penalty because they were very much on the front foot there with the Jackson surge into the backfield. They should have all been onside. You just jumped the gun there, young Josh.
Harris.
Josh! Come to his home!
On the 40-metre line. That's Junior Moores up to halfway.
Off the ball! Home fellas, home!
Well, you can imagine that Craig Bellamy would not have been happy at half-time. Excited might be the right word to use. Brett Finch, were you there?
Yeah, yes, Ray. He certainly wasn't happy. He didn't blow up like I thought he would, but he certainly was strong in the point that the players had to do their job. Do your job, know your role, and stop waiting for other people to take the first hand.
Slater breaking one, ducking under another, and then picked up in cover by James Graham. Good work him, but Smith is off. He puts a grubber kick back in, and Pritchard will be trapped. So they'll get it back, Melbourne, and have another shot at them.
Well, this is an amazing kick from Cameron Smith. He's a left footer. He scoots out to the right side, and then he kicks on his non-preferred foot, and the angle in which he kicks the ball and gets it back off his right foot and kicks it back there to space. I don't know how he knew there was space there, and then somehow manufactured a kick to get it back in the end goal. That is that's as good as it gets, that.
Stay behind.
So Canterbury giving it back to Melbourne. And McLean on the first is tackled 30 metres out. What have they got now? Moores just inside the 20. There's your picture. Down on the ground with Junior Moores, and he's not well.
You get a look, Clarkie.
It's 2.
Tackle 2.
I've got him.
Well, that'll take the sting out of whatever they might have had planned. Punctuation mark for this injury to Junior Moores.
He's ready to play.
24-0. If you've just joined us live today, football going right up to the news at 6 o'clock. And we might even invade a bit of their space as well if there's a miracle comeback from Canterbury, or from Melbourne, I should say.
I've got contact.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got contact.
Come here, mate.
So there's
Michael.
caution to be given. David Clemmer.
It's been reviewed, mate. High tackle contact on report. Play the penalty.
Clemmer goes on report. So needless to say, there's no decision to be made. And McLean takes it up to the 10-metre line. Melbourne.
Marcus.
Now for Roberts and away to Hoffman, and Hoffman sandwiched up between Reynolds and Latham. 7 metres out from the line. Roberts, long, over to Smith. Smith out behind the decoy runner. The chip in by Krog, the fly by Wonga, puts it down. That is a try. Beautifully executed. Beautifully executed.
Well, that's a little bit more like the Melbourne Storm. They've been anything but clinical today, but this one is precise. They take it wide to the left-hand side of the field. Smith opens up the play to Cronk, steadies himself, compressed line from the Bulldogs. And Sisawanga is just too clever to get up there above them and score. Harvey Norman replay, the Storm are on the board.
At BWS, save 30% off all wine when you buy any 6 or more bottles. That's 30% off your favourite reds, whites and bubbly for a limited time only. At BWS, today's special.
The more your mates, the more you want to beat them. Sometimes you both win. The One Box. It's got all 10 of your KFC favourites. Get one while they last.
And no goal. Back to you on the sideline, Brett.
Yeah, guys, just have a look at the reaction of Cooper Cronk after they score the try. Cooper doesn't get very animated, he doesn't give much away, but he senses the urgency and importance of the situation, and he really got the boys fired up after the try. Brings them in, plenty of talk, plenty of urgency. They realise the importance of this situation.
Well, Hodkinson sending it down deep, and it's brought back by Slater, who goes across to Jordan McLean, and he's going to play the ball just outside the 20-metre line.
Interesting to see the kick wasn't taken by Cam Smith either. Must be some concern over that injury.
So Harris. Waiting for Ennis to get off him. To the blind side goes Cronk and slides the pass to Chambers. The play just into Canterbury's territory now, and Cronk comes away to Bromwich. And Bromwich just drops it, downloads it to Roberts. He's inside the 30, steps at the 20-metre mark, and is interrupted there by Sam Perrott. But here they come again, and Cronk goes across the line. Smith is there. Slater joins in, holds the ball in one hand, gets it back, and they go for the line. It comes out the back. It's gone out from Smith. They go for the intercept. There's 6 more tackles on hand for the Melbourne Storm. Now it's with Hoffman. Now it's with Fanua. Fanua to the 10-metre line. Struggling to get rid of the ball. I don't know that they know they had 6 more. They've got another 6. Now it's gone away from Korobidi with him. Korobidi, 9 metres out. Gets the ball away to Wonga. Wonga scores. That is a rugby league parlour. That goes in the gallery. That's in the gallery. Whatever museum you can find, just put it there.
Well, can we get back to the start?
Thank you.
Replay the whole try. Just don't replay the last 28 passes.
We have a try. We want you to go all the way back to the first touch 6 to go that happened around here, and then the other one that happened over there.
Yeah, that's why it's so ridiculous. You shouldn't be going back to that at all. We've already ruled on it. You're killing the moment. You're killing the game with this rubbish. Let's go right back to the start. There it is from dummy half. Cooper Cronk out to Cameron Smith. He finds Billy Slater. The big three have got themselves into the action. Slater goes forward. He looks for an offload. He gets it back to Waka. Waka gets it back inside. It's picked up by Cameron Smith. Speculator. Reynolds comes forward. There's your first 6 again. Comes out to Hinchcliffe. Out to Hoffman. Now, I don't know if they know it's 6 again, but there's offloads here. Fanua, dummies back inside. He gets it back. He'll come up with an offload. Out the back it comes again. 6 again. Does that make 12? I don't know. It doesn't matter because they're going to score under the post. Corabetti in under the post. He's tackled. He looks gone. Gets it away. And Wagga underneath the post. That is a miracle.
Miracle! You can't use that word. Mark Coyne said you can't use the word.
Well, are they looking at a knock-on here from Jesse Bromwich?
No, Reynolds has forced that. He's going to catch that until Reynolds gets involved.
There's a touch. Bromwich's hand then go forward into Reynolds here.
Well, his left hand was clear. His right hand, it was a bit hard to see.
I think he's catching the ball and Reynolds goes in and knocks it away from him.
Well, he hasn't actually knocked it forward there. It's been knocked backwards.
Well, if this try is disallowed, it'll be one of the greatest travesties of the modern age.
Try tragedy as well.
This is not how the game should be refereed. Honestly, it is not how our game should be refereed.
Well, it didn't look like
you're killing the moment. You really are. You've ruled on 6 again twice. There was 8 passes after that. Why go back in history to try and find an error to kill a moment?
Oh, I think they're going to rule against this.
That's a disgrace.
They are. They are.
Geez, I hate this video referee rubbish. I absolutely hate it.
I'll take the scrum, mate.
I absolutely hate it.
Over here, fellas.
If Fanua is tackled over here, it's play on, and we never watch that incident again in history.
Knock on Melbourne.
Because a try is scored, we go back and review it.
That's the point.
Kill the moment. It's ridiculous.
That is the point. If Fanua goes to ground, we don't even worry about it.
I hate the video referee. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it.
God help us.
All right, wait for the outcall, fellas. Wait for the outcall. I will give it.
That was historic, and they buried it. It was historic, and it got buried because we've gone so technical. Here's Graham. Jackson. Williams is just short of the halfway. Canterbury 24-4. And Finucane. So back to Hodkinson to put it high. Slater will go up. He does. And he is able to half get rid of Reynolds, but there's a knock on now. Now there's a knock on against Slater.
Scrum, boys, Bulldogs.
Well, you can imagine just how the Storm felt after that try. They must have been up there believing that they're a chance of getting back into the game. All of a sudden, it was taken away from them. The knock on makes it just a little bit worse for them.
There's no ball, mate.
Stay down, boys.
So Canterbury
Let's go, Tahu.
is standing what would have been one of the all-time great tries. 24-7. 24-4, I should say. And here's another knock-on. No, it's a penalty.
It's not quick. It's not quick. Take your time. Come back, fellas.
He'll be kicking for goal, Michael, I would imagine, or telling his man to kick for goal, is he? He already pointed to the uprights.
Differential, you can't take 2, mate.
You can't take 2. It's a differential penalty. Okay. I've got it.
Make the line. Hold.
So played then by Finucane, and here's Clemmer with the ball. On report, David Clemmer.
Make the line.
There's how close they are, Canterbury. So Ennis comes, and it's away to Wackfire. Can he get 3? Yeah. He mightn't get 3. Thompson. They are going to examine. This is another one of those winger tries. This time it's been knocked back by Matt Checken. He's gone upstairs. But it's a dangerous practice to say these wingers haven't got it down with the things that they've been able to do in recent times. Corey Thompson. Feet off the ground. No, he's lost it. And they're looking at it probably from a restart point of view. It would be part of the dead ball area, I would imagine, because it's landed on the line and the touch line at the same time. In fact, probably where the dead ball corner post is standing. I would have thought they're going to rule this as it's part of the in goal. The dead ball area is part of the in goal. So they're out on the 20-metre line at the moment. Keep in mind it's the attacking side that's infringed, so it will come out to the 20.
Where you going, Matthew?
So it's no try. That's the first thing.
Cameron, hold on, mate. You call time on your whistle.
So they got that right, and this is Tim Glasby who's out there now, playing for Melbourne. This is Jesse Bromwich. 35 away from the Melbourne line. 24 plays 4. Hinchcliffe trying to make inroads. Looking for that gap that Melbourne is trying to throw. Hoffman. 40 metres away from the Canterbury line. Into the blind side. Roberts comes into the attack. That should go into... Oh, no. It came off the boot of the Canterbury player, I fancy. Well, it's come off his boot and he's got the ball back anyway. So that's good work from Sam Perrott. He's gone into dummy half to take a run. You would think he does. To Tolman. 20 metres away from their own line now. The Dogs. 20 metres in from touch, and now they're towards the centre of the ground with Mitch Brown. Perrott now. Looked as though he wanted to have a gallop earlier, and now he's doing exactly that. 7 metres his side of halfway. Gone on to Reynolds, and Reynolds picks up another 7 or 8 metres before being tackled and breaking the tackle on 5, but he said there's a knock on.
Play the ball, it's a scrum.
Comment sideline from Darren.
Yeah, when Corey Thompson went to go score that try before, he got picked up an injury. He's not real good, and you saw the Storm go down the left edge here before. Nearly got a bit of luck with a bounce of the ball.
Time out.
Don't be surprised if they come back down this way again, as you see the knock on here from Reynolds.
It mightn't have been a knock on, but it was a sloppy play the ball attempt.
Well, numbers on the blind would indicate that Storm may do what Darren Lockyer suggested. Attack the blind. Gee, he's got a bad limp. Thompson, it doesn't look good at all.
Young Thompson's pretty much emphasised the fact that he's got a problem on his chambers, so you can bet your bottom dollar they'll come back here. You would imagine if they've spotted the gesticulations that have come from young Thompson. It's an appropriate time to put one on him, put some pressure on him. Here's Bromwich out the back, Smith across, Harris with the ball, and Harris is going to be put away 11 metres out from the line. The Sydney side leading by 20 points. Crump turning it back into Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe is taken around the legs, put down there by James Graham. Now Melbourne back to the uprights, and then it's Glasby, and he will be made to play the ball. Just out from the try line. That's it. You see it. Goes back to Cronk. Cronk shapes the kick. He does kick. It's gone over and out of bounds. It's gone over the touchline. I think off Canterbury.
Here we are.
Off Melbourne.
Play the ball, boys. Yeah.
Banana kick there.
So it has come off Melbourne.
Thank you. Oh, boys, hold. Just play all good now, all good, you ball kick.
So Williams. Just inside the 20-metre line, Tony Williams. On the far side of the ground, now Dale Finucane. And he'll play the ball in the centre of the ground. Canterbury, with every minute that passes.
Well, it's been pretty exciting in the Melbourne Storm attack over the last 10 minutes or so, but just as impressive has been the Bulldogs' defence. They're responding extremely well. It'll be bringing a huge smile to their coach, Des Hasler's face.
Here is Tolman, put down a few metres into Melbourne's area. And Hodkinson kicking it high down to Slater. Slater away to Wonga. Wonga got it back to Slater. Laffey's with him. Laffey hangs on to him. And Ennis comes in to put the Melbourne fullback to ground. Here's Wonga with the ball now. Got it away. And the ball has gone with Karabidi. Karabidi, he's gone down the line. He got the ball away. Fanua, and Fanua will crawl over. Will he? No!
James Graham.
Desperate stuff again, Gus. From Tolman it was.
Bulldogs player was offside. The winger got involved. Yep.
Penalty.
No, just offside. No.
Well, there was a big call as well. One of the referees saying, do you want him in the bin? The other said, no, just a penalty will do, saying that he wasn't in a position that deserved putting in the bin. That man came up with another one. We heard Phil Gould give him a rap last week talking about him chasing 70 or 80 metres. He's done it again.
Here's Bromwich.
Marcus square. Make the line. Hold go.
Smith. Harris at the line. Smith again. Back to Bromwich now. And Cronk is looking for it. It's gone to ground and Canterbury got the ball. Good tackle there from Jackson.
Square marker, square.
So Thompson, the winger, has come off.
Not square.
James Graham is off.
There's the mark.
Well, it's a different looking Melbourne Storm now, isn't it? Sudden death. You lose this, your season is over. They've had a wonderful run, the Melbourne Storm. Virtually a decade of excellence. But they're staring down the barrel of a quick exit if they can't rein in this 20-point deficit.
That's Pat O'Hanlon. And there's some concern here for young O'Hanlon.
Tackle two.
Tackle two. Fuck his leg. The leg, man.
Oh, he's done his leg. Oh, he's broken his leg.
So we'll take a break from AAMI Park and we'll be back in just a moment.
After a long, hard day, nothing beats a long, cold brewery fresh Carlton Draft.
Pour it long, pour it cold, pour it Carlton, pour it gold. The real taste of real draft beer. Pour it long, pour it cold, pour it Carlton, pour it.
Carlton Draft, celebrating 150 years of brewery fresh beer.
This Tuesday, get 9 pieces of KFC's original recipe chicken for only $9.95. Awesome. 9 for $9.95. Only on Tuesdays.
At BWS, save 30% off all wine when you buy any 6 or more bottles. That's 30% off your favourite reds, whites and bubbly for a limited time only. At BWS, today's special.
So we're back at AAMI Park and we've got some serious attention being given to young Pat O'Hanlon. We fear there's a break of one of the legs. Canterbury players immediately forming a huddle just away to the left. Melbourne doing likewise away to the right. And just about every medico that is available is out there to render the limb immobile. Brett and Darren on the sideline.
Yeah, mate, there was a hush come over the crowd there when the They seen the on the big screen that the injury to young Pat O'Hanlon, so not good at all. But the game's really at a tipping point, Lockie. You know, there's been a couple of close calls for the Storm, but it's getting to the point now. So now it's going to be a point a minute. What do they have to come up with?
Well, I think the momentum's all with the Storm. The Bulldogs now down Thompson and O'Hanlon. So, look, I think, you know, the stoppage in play is a good thing for the Bulldogs, but for Melbourne, they just got to keep the foot on the throat. You know, just keep pushing up offloads, and they'll get some points.
The crowd's really come into this down here, Rabs, and hopefully after the assistance to young Pat here, they can get right back into the game.
Well, they've just lifted him onto the stretcher and bringing him from the field of play, and the crowd as one, offering their applause to this youngster, Pat O'Hanlon. And we fear a fracture.
He's got the painkiller as well, trying to assist his departure from the fields. I'm sure rugby league fans as one will unite and wish him all the best. Amongst the crowd here of 19,230 people, everyone
You're right, Nick.
will be hoping
when he
that
blows the
he pulls
whistle,
up
be tackled
as
too.
good as possible.
To play the ball, and Finucane it is, who's tackled on the halfway line. Canterbury 20 points in front with 22 minutes of this game remaining. Played by Williams. Ennis offloads to Tolman on the 30-metre line. Now to Reynolds, and he puts a kick down favourably for Billy Slater, and he's put down by Jackson, a squashing tackle. 12 metres away from his own line. Korobiki. And O'Hanlon, born up at Bundaberg, made his debut down here at Parramatta, or should I say in Sydney at Parramatta, back in 2011. A youngster, 23 years of age. He's in good hands, and everything being done for him, and he'll obviously be transported to hospital for some further treatment on that leg as it goes down then to Perrott. And Sam comes bouncing back, and then he's able to get the ball away, and he got it away to this man Laffey, and Laffey is tackled on the 30-metre line. So the football taking you right up to the news tonight. We're coming to you live from AAMI Park in Melbourne. And of course, 60 minutes tonight, followed by a special edition. I was going to say the block.
Big Brother.
The block. I was right about the block in 60 minutes in Big Brother. So penalty again, this time to Canterbury.
Yeah, that's an expensive penalty as well for Storm. They need the ball in hand as much as possible. The Bulldogs getting through their set, donating another opportunity, which will start 24 metres out. This could be the play that guarantees success for the Doggies.
Williams then. Taking a settler. He's 10 metres out from the Melbourne line. Hodkinson away to Tolman. Tolman, 9 out. Ennis having a look to his left, and he goes that way. And Hodkinson is close to the line. So Ennis back long, out to Reynolds. Right foot, left foot. There's the line again. Melbourne got to have one foot on the line, and Reynolds is hurt.
I think it's accidental, Clarkie, but just check, mate. I know it did contact, but I think it was accidental.
Well, we're talking about probably a knee in the back here, and you're hearing the referee say we think it was accidental. And Slater is the man.
Be careful, careful. Yeah. Are you sure?
The more you watch it in slow motion, the worse it looks.
This is going to be a penalty, I think.
It's got to be watched at normal speed, and the referee was right. It's an accident.
It's been reviewed. It's on report. Contact with the knees.
The referee was right the first time. It was an accident. Go to the video referee and super slow-mo it. So you can't see that. You watch that at normal speed, you say it's an accident. You watch it at super slow-mo, you think he's decapitated him.
So Ennis taking the penalty for Nukin. Tackled almost adjacent to the pads. Back they come for Hodkinson. Hodkinson getting out of the first, but not the second. So Ennis, Williams.
3 now, hands away.
3 goes they've had. And now it's out to Tolman, and Tolman taking on some of his old teammates there, but again denied.
Bit of room out wide.
Ennis, he's put a couple of dive-over tries together recently. This one doesn't come off. Reynolds, okay. Long, Hodkinson kicks. He'll be looking for Josh Morris, but look at Wonga. And it's been declared Melbourne ball, and Wonga is injured.
Okay, mate.
A hint there of some work being done on the arm.
And again, the more you watch it in slow motion, the more you think he's done something wrong. If you watch it at normal speed, he's just grabbing hold of the bloke the best way he can.
Another penalty coming.
I'm very fast losing interest in this.
On report.
So Morris is on report, Slater is on report, Clemmer is on report. Did I miss one?
Well, I can understand what you say, Gus. When you go out and make a tackle, you don't go out and make a tackle in slow motion.
No.
You go out and make it at full speed. You don't have time to react, and it's a shame that things like that happen, but that's just a natural expectation of a contact sport.
Lockie, sideline.
And not only are the Bulldogs likely down to 15 players, they've only got 2 interchange left for the final 18 minutes. If the Storm can get some repeat sets, the Bulldogs look vulnerable.
This is Glasby. Taking it just over halfway. There's young Thompson. One of those back on the bench. Bromwich. And they're just outside the 30-metre line. 24-4. Smith uses his halfback Cronk. Just the 4 points in the second half, scored by Melbourne. Here's Slater, looking around, stepping off his left foot several times. The bounce is there for Josh Morris. So Morris will play the ball inside his own 20-metre line. Getting up slowly. And now it's gone out to Tolman. Clemmer beating the attempt by Chambers and put down by Moores, together with Glasby. Williams crossing the 40-metre line, his own end of the park. Greg Inglis. He had a monster start to the game. Last tackle now for Canterbury. There's the kick off the boot of Hodkinson going down towards Wonga. And it comes away from the 10.
Up
17. About to go back into the game, Jordan McLean. Hoffman. Smith. 40-metre line now.
See, Rabbits, there's nothing wrong with Sisawanga. He just ran that ball back at 100 mile an hour, picked it up, no problem. He stays down to get the penalty for his team because the video referee will give it to him. But the upshot of that is that Morris is on report and might do time on the sideline. So the milking of penalties through the video referee, which has now become so prevalent, is going to have an even more adverse effect because players are getting charges and going to do suspension time.
There's David Clemmer.
I've got to tell you, I'm sick of it.
Williams. Here's Tolman away inside the 30-metre line. This is the last tackle for Canterbury. And Reynolds puts it in towards the in goal where it should find the line.
Well, they're in a bit of a box at the moment, the Bulldogs. They're trying as hard as they possibly can. They appear to be in total control of the game, but a couple of injuries have forced them into a bit of a reshuffle. They've got Tim Laffey shifted out to the wing. Every time he was carting the ball up early in the game, he was breaking through, making territory and or scoring tries. They're in a little bit of a neutral zone at the moment, the Bullies.
Well, James Graham has gone back out there, so they used another one of their interchanges. That's Moores. Almost in the centre of the ground. Proctor. Moores again. Back behind. The kick by Cronk, and it's taken by Laffey. He's pursued by Korobidi. Brushed him away. Got the ball on to Perrott. Perrott now one-on-one with Slater. And Slater is there hanging on to Sam Perrott and putting him down eventually. 10 away from their own line, the Dogs. Brown.
Hold, fellas, hold. Hold. Go.
This is Fanuka on the 30-metre line. And what have we got left in this game? Just under 13 minutes, and of course with every second that ticks away, the probability becomes only a possibility for Melbourne. So Reynolds and Ennis it is who plugs it down into the corner off the knees of Slater. It goes long to Wonga. Wonga's got Chambers outside him. Be dangerous to pass here. He played the ball 5 away from his own line, and Chambers comes scurrying around in an arc-like attempt to get out of this danger zone.
You have to give the Bulldogs defence a huge rap this second half. The Melbourne's done everything at the Bulldogs, and there's only been one try scored.
Moores back to Cronk to Wonga, but Wonga's hopelessly outnumbered. 3 of them on him on that side of the ground because Chambers, the man with the ball, was back behind the ruck from a previous play. Smith then, jinking, passing behind Hinchcliffe, then to Proctor. Now it's gone out to Wonga. He kicks and tries to chase, and it's a race between him and the fullback, and he puts a kick on the ball, and Josh Morris is back there, but Wonga was with him. Wonga, of course, off to Canberra next year. Brown.
Off you get now, don't walk in. Keep coming.
Laffey.
Move now.
So it's increasingly starting to look like players such as Wonga and Hoffman playing their last game in the purple. Ennis turning it in. Williams, a backdoor pass. It's come down to James Graham.
Well, in back play here, Michael Ennis gets smashed from Will Chambers 3 or 4 seconds after he passes the ball. He hasn't moved on the ground.
Well, we've got Hodkinson chipping it down the ground. Wonga throws it long to Slater. Jackson's after him. They don't very often get past Jackson.
Yeah, here's the replay. Passes the ball and then, wow.
Trainer, come up to me, boys. Tackle 2. Trainer did come up to me.
Love that.
Well, you get more and more of this, whenever they think they can get the video referee to give them some sort of result. But I don't want to harp on it, but that's what our game's becoming. Everyone stay down. Let the video referee referee it.
I think there's going to be a penalty here.
Okay, I've got tackle 2. Cameron.
So we're going again here.
What's the call, Clarkie?
Can't take it, no medicine.
Okay, it's been reviewed. Use of the shoulder, it's on report. It was this previous set, so it's going to be a play the ball there. Tackle 2, but you're on report. Tackle 2 when I blow the whistle.
Chambers is on report for the use of the shoulder in the tackle on Ennis. So this report sheet is getting longer and longer, Finchy.
I totally agree with the situation.
He's hit Proctor right on the melon. Sorry, Brett.
Yeah, just agree with Gus there. I just think there's way too much stop-start and interruption from the video referee. It's been a great game, and the only things we've spoke about that have been negative have been the video ref coming into the game.
Well, less than 10 minutes now. The Storm have come up with 1 try from a kick in 71 minutes of football. It's hard to conceive they can come up with 4 in the dying moments.
Let's go. Michael, you've got the ball.
The Bulldogs fans on the far side of the ground starting to chant. They've made the trip, obviously, from up north. And they're on very, very good terms with themselves.
Canterbury then. Can they put the absolute seal on this game? You probably would think it's already there. Williams!
Move! Give him room, fellas!
Tolman.
3 now, get off the ball!
Ennis back around the corner for Graham, and the ball, I think, touched Melbourne.
Forward pass. Scrum.
So it's going to be a scrum restart with the feed going to Melbourne.
Shortcut if it goes that way.
Yes, mate.
I noticed Tim Laffey moved back into the centres for a play. I was expecting it to come out to the right-hand side where he may have been charging at Mahe Fanua.
Okay, seconds lock, come together.
Almost a bit of a mismatch there, but an opportunity being presented.
Time on.
Roosters Cowboys live from Allianz next Friday night at 7:30, and then Manly plays. It looks very much like the Bulldogs on Saturday night at Allianz at 7 p.m. 24-4 in favour of the Bulldogs from Sydney up against the Melbourne Storm. They were the grand finalists of 2012, won by Melbourne. But Canterbury certainly has served notice that they may have the measure. This could be a penalty on Graham. No, referee has said no, I saw it, play on. Canterbury has served notice that maybe they've got the answer to Melbourne. 3 times in a row they've beaten them, including twice this year. The only other team this year to do that has been the Sydney Roosters. Played by Josh Morris on the far side of the ground. His wing partner, Mitch Brown. We'll see another day in the blue and white, along with Michael Ennis. Tolman short away, Reynolds across, and now Jackson. 35 metres out from the Melbourne line. Eastwood ridden into the ground by Brian Norris. 5 gone for Canterbury. And Hodgkinson goes long. The pass is okay. A grubber kick by Morris. It's come off the leg there of Williams. They go for the line.
Hand over here, boys. Forward pass.
Call back.
Out
Forward pass.
It's a change over, boys. Let's go.
Rightio.
Korobidi. 20-metre line. Hoffman.
Well, it sets up the meeting next week. Des Hasler versus Manly.
Come on, mate. Josh, get on.
There's already been some chapters in that book, hasn't there? Plenty of rivalry there. Manly struggling on the weekend against South Sydney, but too good a side to write off.
Plus, of course, Gus, they've got players on report. They have to undergo the scrutiny of the judiciary, the scrutiny of themselves, firstly, I suppose. Here's Cronk, and intercepted by Greg Inglis. He says, I don't know whether I've got the petrol. Go on, son, have a go. Oh, here's Laffey. He's going to soak up his third, and he smokes down the sideline to get it. Tim Laffey. Tim Laffey scores at the 17th, the 37th minute, and the 76th minute of the game.
Well, great work here by Greg Eastwood. He takes the intercept. He says, I don't want to run that far. I'll just step back in here and get tackled on the Harvey Norman replay. And then he finds Laffey's loomed up out wide. Very gladly passes the ball on to him, and Laffey does the rest. But that's a nice exclamation point on the afternoon's work for the Bulldogs.
Next in 9 News, Australia ready to send fighter jets and military personnel to help take down Islamic State terrorists. 2 dead as a plane plummets to the ground while trying to land at Mudgee Airport. A desperate search intensifies for little William Tyrrell, missing on the mid-north coast since Friday. The chainsaw accident that's left Greg Norman in hospital. And the Panthers now just 1 win away from a grand final appearance. All those stories coming up shortly in 9 News at 6 o'clock.
Well, Tim Laffey, a memorable day for this youngster with that broad smile and the film star haircut and the brush back with a bit of gel there. Wally,
looks like a young,
brings back memories.
I'd love to have it.
That wristband, the Jacks, that's his partner, we're told. So well, there might be something there that we're not being told. I'm not sure. Stop laughing. That supercilious chuckle in the background. Here's Hodkinson to attempt conversion of Laffey's third try. Jackson family have scored 3 tries today. That's all I can tell you. Trent Hodkinson spoils what otherwise was it perfect? I think it was coming into that. So Hodkinson and Reynolds have got their job done today on the back of some wonderful performances up front for Des Hasler, and well, I can't get him to smile. I don't even know if he can hear us down there. I don't think he can. So we've got now a certainty of Manly
I got this line, Joey.
playing Canterbury on Saturday night, 7 at Allianz. This match has got 4 minutes remaining.
And what a game we have coming up as well. The Bulldogs, though, what they've gained besides points on the board is enormous confidence in their own game. They'll have plenty of self-belief after a couple of wobbly weeks. It's going to be interesting to see whether Coach Hasler changes the game plan at all. If so, what it's going to be. But what he's seen out there, he will feel fairly comfortable about.
James Graham, slow up. Hard to measure whether they're injured or not at this point in time, but he's had a hell of a day. He's had a dogged day, hasn't he? Wonderful player. I've said it before through the year. One of the best Englishmen ever to come down here. And as I've always said, we've had some wonderful Englishmen play the game down here, but Graham runs into his shoulder, so maybe that's the reason he He took a while to get up. Warriors now 28-4. 3 minutes to go. 3 tries to Laffey, and Canterbury will beat Melbourne for the 3rd time in a year. The first time they've done that since 2003. Let's not take too much away from Melbourne. They've been one of the residents of the finals for all but 1 year under Craig Bellamy. It is just a rugby league revelation. The performances of Melbourne since they joined the competition in 1998, and that man, Craig Bellamy, he is responsible for so much of it. So Graham again plays the ball. He's going to slog it right out to the air. Hodkinson dribbles it down to Sisawonga. And Canberra are going to get a good one when they get him. So a penalty.
Worked him around.
Get behind him.
Goes to Melbourne. Roosters Cowboys. 7:30 Friday. Allianz. Eagles Bulldogs. 7 o'clock Saturday. Allianz. And you'll see them exclusively live on 9 next Friday and Saturday night. Proctor. Well, I even thought at 18-0 that Melbourne would dig out of the grave that they were already in. And I think a lot of people shared that thought. That this Canterbury defence in the second half has been as exciting as their first half attack. I think that's the best way to put it. They attacked brilliantly in the first half, and they've defended superbly in the second half. Slater still working, still probing.
Knock on.
I was hoping that Billy Slater might have today broken a couple of records. There's the man of the match for Victoria Bitter. James Graham, the VB hard-earned man of the match. From the north of England, James Graham. Yes, I was hoping Billy might have scored a couple today. Ken Irvine's record at a single club was within reach, and most tries in the final was there for him to move clear of Eddie Lumsden. So Canterbury off the bench. They're ready to acknowledge their teammates. Tonight on 9, we've got the block at 6:30, the living and dining room reveals, 60 Minutes at 8, and at 9 Big Brother. But right now, it is straight to 9 News.